Welcome everybody to another episode of the Back to the Basics podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Eddie.
And today, we are super excited, super nostalgic to be talking about one of the greatest video game consoles of all time. Possibly, dare I say, one of the greatest Nintendo consoles, if not the greatest of all time. The Nintendo 64, baby. And honestly, okay, so Eddie came over and he saw the way I wrapped the controllers, and he called me a psychopath.
We're going to do this right now.
Right now, dude. What is this? Okay, this is the way you wrap.
This is how you wrap a controller. This is your brain on drugs.
No, dude. This is how you wrap it.
Who does that? Who wraps their controller like?
Okay, and for everybody listening to the audio version of the podcast, I just want to remind you that we do have video form of every single podcast over on YouTube, Instagram TV, Facebook, all that greatness. Just look us up. But yeah, dude, Eddie,
so go ahead and check that out so you can see what exactly we're talking about. This man wraps controllers crazily.
It's called OCD.
But besides that, we're jumping into Nintendo 64 today, and I can't wait. We've got the fantastic N64s. First time ever holding one physically in my hands, that fire red orange.
Ooh,
it's my
beautiful.
favorite.
My favorite.
And I can't wait to start talking about this. So we're going to go ahead and jump into today's episode. But before that, Josh, anything else?
We have a virtual dojo that you can take part in. Come and hang out with us. It's called backtothebasics.com. We got all the audio versions of our podcast there. We got the videos of us there, links to the socials and everything like that. So if you want to hang out, go over to the dojo, backtothebasics.com. Follow us on the socials if you do want to keep up to date with our shenanigans, because we have a lot of them.
And with that being said, let's get into N64, Nintendo, 64 bits of nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay, dude. This is it. We talking about this. Okay. See, you're accusing me, all right, of being a psychopath about the way I wrap my controller. I want to talk about this.
Just the tendencies, man. Just, psychopathic tendencies. This is how you wrap a controller. For everybody out there, I know this is how you guys wrap it, right?
No, nobody wraps it that way. Look how psychopathic. Look at that.
Across,
Okay, well, I'll agree that, yeah, most people wrap it that way, but that's because everyone's a psychopath.
Who does this?
Look at this.
Who?
You see this? This is the way you wrap. This is OCD. This is, okay, wrapping a controller like this, for one.
Who in the blue hell wraps a controller?
Well,
like
we wrap this in the orange hell, okay?
Yeah, the fire orange.
We're going to get into that fantastic, baby. I'm super excited.
It's all fantastic.
I want to get this out the way, though. Two things. We're going to talk about this N64 controller right now, and
it's perfect.
I used to wrap it like a psychopath, like the cross.
No, like that, right? You still do. You still do. Obviously, you still does.
Look it. Okay. This does not put any pressure or any bullshit, because you know how old school. Listen to me. Old school controllers, retro game controllers.
Mm-hmm.
ASMR. Old school controllers. What would happen with your controller? You start having to hold the cord this way, right? Because it wouldn't connect. You got to bend the cord down and wrap it around just so it works. And what happens is, because when savages like you people out there, apparently, when you wrap it super tight around the thing like that, you start pulling the connection out, right?
See, I used to wrap it. Let me take this rumble pack off real quick.
Yeah, Star Fox, baby.
Yeah, I used to wrap it so similar to this, but instead of wrapping it around this way, I'd wrap it through the middle.
Even worse.
Debatable. To me, if he's talking about relieving the pressure, it just goes straight down, around, and then it comes back the other side.
Gotcha.
So it was a little smarter. Yeah, it was a little smarter on my part.
I think this is just my OCD. Like I said,
I think it is, man. You might be on what you call it, the spectrum.
Oh, we going guns out.
You might be on the spectrum,
Hey,
bruh.
guns out. We got
Not
shots
that there's
fired.
anything wrong with that, you know.
No, dude, we're all on the spectrum. We just don't know it.
Exactly.
Though, so outside of that, okay, we have the rap. We have the rap, right?
Yeah.
You were just
Wrap it up. That's the only. Got to wrap it up, man. That's the only way to go.
You were telling me that you don't put your hand in the middle right here. You use it like a traditional controller,
Yeah.
and you apparently are like Mr. Fantastic. You're like Reed Richards over here, Plastic Man.
Mr.
You
Stretch.
Armstrong, baby.
Yes.
Apparently, hey, now you just
Stretch
flexing. Apparently, you have your thumb over here by the D-pad, and you use your elongated thumb to use the analog stick.
Well, see, I got big hands. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that much of a stretch for me. You know, I just hold it like a classic controller, and then the little joystick is right there. It's already right there. So when I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm whooping Josh's ass in Mario Kart, I just hold the control stick all the way up, hit that blue A button, and I'm just off to the races like Yoshi, bro. Yeah, I'm shooting green shells
That's
at you.
crazy. That's crazy. But hey, dude,
Who doesn't hold their controller like that?
everybody.
Psychopath.
I just wanted to start with that because that's different. It's weird, right? Hey, we have different ways to wrap it up. We have different ways to control it, you know?
Hey.
But at the end of the day,
a controller gets controlled.
Hey,
you know what I mean? That's what it is.
At the end of the day, it is so beautiful, man, because we all play it.
Oh, yeah. Still play it to this day.
Did you know?
N64.
Did you know?
The more you know. Well,
The more you
lay it
know.
on me. Lay it on me.
I don't know what they were called. Some company. I had read that
Nintendo.
No. Some company approached Nintendo back in the day, and some Silicon Valley.
Sega?
They I don't know. They had said something about they promised the N64 film-like CGI, film-like graphics.
I remember you said something about that.
They had two examples, and I think this is just absolutely hilarious. They had two examples. They said we're gonna give you graphics like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2.
They barely doing that now. What you mean? How you gonna put movie graphics on a
That's what was promised.
64-bit console?
That's what was promised.
Who did that? Sega? Was that you?
No, it was some Silicon reality company or something like that.
Oh,
And
Pied Piper, right?
what?
Silicon Valley, Pied Piper.
I never watched it. Anyways, they
You're killing me.
Killing Me Smalls.
Yeah, you killing me, Josh.
I just thought that was interesting. And did you know
That is weird, though. How would you physically do like? The technology wasn't around
at the time?
Yeah,
Well, apparently it was for the movie industry.
yeah. But how you gonna take the movies and put it into a game system when you only got 64 bits? That's my question. How you gonna
And
fit it into?
aren't these
How you gonna fit it into
these
a cartridge?
cartridges like 15 megabytes or something?
How you gonna do
20
that at
megabytes?
15 megabytes.
Yeah, how are you gonna fit Jurassic Park onto a cartridge? That's crazy.
I mean, there is a Jurassic Park game though, right?
I mean, they got VHSs. But it was called, apparently the N64, before it was called the N64, it was called Project Reality. That's what they named it because of their company was something reality or something like that.
Where do you get these guys?
Project Reality. And then I guess later they got that whole company got dumped.
Obviously.
Yeah, Nintendo said something. I don't know. We doing our own
They
thing.
said, not today.
Not today. And it switched over to the Ultra 64.
Ultraman. And Ultra 64? Is that a thing?
Where do you go from Super to the Ultra? Don't you like that? Don't you like that? We have Super Nintendo, and then we get an Ultra Nintendo, Ultra 64. But
it has a kind of a ring to it.
Ultra?
64.
it's tight.
That's not bad, man.
It's not.
That's not bad.
I like it.
They should release the Ultra 64. I'm sorry. We do it almost every episode.
So apparently,
Release it.
after everything happened and they launched the Nintendo 64.
Best ever.
Do you remember where you were when that launched?
I was like 6.
6? You don't have memories of yourself at 6?
You trying to dive deep into my memory banks? Thanks.
Call me Charles
So-
Xavier.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'm bald.
He all he needs is a wheelchair, guys.
Oh, don't say that. No, don't say that.
I mean, you don't.
Don't put that into the ether. Oh shit.
But anyways, so when the N64 came out, of course I was 6 years old, like I said, so I was a kid, but I didn't immediately get the N64. I wasn't one of those people who got it release day, launch day when it first came out. It probably wasn't like 2 years. I think I got it in '98, and I got it Christmas of 1998.
Ooh, you got it as a
Yeah.
Christmas present?
Christmas present. So
Epic.
of course I had to wait 2 years. Everybody else already had them. I never even played it. My cousins didn't have it, but they had Super Nintendo. So up until then, I was still playing Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. But Christmas of 1998, I got it. I remember me and my brother got it for a Christmas gift, and it was brand new in the box. I still remember the opening the packaging, and
That was
just the
epic.
box just looks so clean. And I can't wait until I get one of those vintage boxes,
Oh.
and just keep it on the shelf and put
So-
it away. And but it was Christmas, and the first game that we had on there, I think it even came with it, or they bought it separate. It was Quarterback Club '98
No way.
with Brett Favre on it.
Yeah.
Brett Favre. I wish it had
The Packers.
Steve Young, because Niners all day. But it was Quarterback Club '98, Brett Favre, and of course we ended up getting Mario Kart and my favorite back here, Banjo Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo Kazooie, man.
That's interesting because anytime I've ever known you and we bring up Nintendo 64, you've always brought up Banjo-Kazooie. And the weirdest thing is I went my entire life, I've never played Banjo-Kazooie.
That's gonna have to change. In
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
It's a new year.
And
It's
we
a
gonna
new
play
year,
it.
man. 2020.
We're going to play it.
Banjo Kazooie. Duh.
Oh. So, and I know Banjo-Kazooie plays like Mario 64.
It's very, very
Similar,
similar. Yeah.
right?
But it's not at all the same. I would go out on a limb and say that the music score in Banjo-Kazooie is way better than Mario Kart 64.
Okay, Mario 64 or Mario Kart?
Mario 64.
Oh,
sorry,
Mario.
Sorry. Yeah, Mario Kart 64 has some of the cleanest epic tracks, and
Yeah.
it's level after level. But see, that's what I think Banjo-Kazooie really capitalized on was it was almost like cinematic scores for every different like world and level that you went into. You had a different score for that level.
Yeah.
And it was just the time, because I watched a behind the scenes like documentary on how they wanted to introduce music into like film type of music into video games. And it's funny
Yes.
that you said that
Uh-huh.
that they wanted to make film like movies into video games,
Yeah.
but they wanted to add the music, and they did that with this, and to this day it's still some of the most epic scores for a video game.
One thing that I always love to do is I like when people present things from the past, whether it be like a 70s movie or 80s movie or old TV show or a video game,
Yeah.
especially because I'm all about the game industry and I love video games. But when somebody brings out, and for you to say, hey, Banjo-Kazooie is like my favorite game on N64, and
Straight up.
it holds all this nostalgia to me, to you.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I love about nostalgia and retro games and just retro movies is for someone to present something like Banjo-Kazooie and for me to experience it because I've never played it.
that's the cool thing, is playing something that you've never played and experiencing it for the first time,
Yeah.
whether you're nowadays or when you're a little bit younger. But that's something that we're gonna have to do, man, is
Hell yeah.
get you on there. And I wish it had 2 players. I think in part 2, Banjo-Tooie, they have like a multiplayer. But Banjo-Kazooie 1, it's just all like, it's like one of the first open world RPG games, and it's just,
dude, Rare. It's from Rare, and Rare killed it on the 64.
Yeah.
Dude, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo. Rare was lit back in the day.
and now Microsoft ain't doing nothing with them.
Well, I know you haven't experienced it, and you're so passionate about Banjo, and
Nintendo.
I'll tell you what. One thing I want you to experience is the Rare replay.
I would love to play it. I never
You-
got to play it on the 360, right?
No, this is Xbox
Or is it?
One.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they
Xbox
put it.
One. I don't know if there was
Wow.
anything on 360, but on the Xbox One, there's the Rare replay. They got like Battletoads and stuff.
That's cool.
When they have all the Rare games, they have
Nice.
Banjo 1 and 2, all HD.
Man.
And I want you to experience that.
I got excited right now.
It's the
just-
classic game, all HD, super clean, the most crispest audio you're gonna get. You haven't
Christmas.
crispest. That's a word, homie. So and I know you haven't experienced that. So I want to give you that.
Yeah,
And
we should definitely
we should play
like
it.
that. Yeah.
I got the Xbox.
The only thing better than that
is
would
playing
be
the original.
that'd probably be better. But the next best thing would be to play it on the Nintendo Switch. And I hope and pray that one of these days, because Microsoft and Rare are kind of partnering together, and you saw Banjo and Kazooie were on Super Smash.
Super Smash. They brought them,
And that was really cool. And
Yeah.
so it kind of gave a lot of people, me being one
Some
of
hope.
them, some hope, saying that
Nintendo knows about this.
maybe on their e-store, when they decide to drop the N64 library on the, you know how they have the classic gaming, the Super
You think
Nintendo.
that's gonna happen?
I hope so, dude. That would be really, for Nintendo to capitalize on something like that. It would bring a lot of those N64 fans who are just waiting. There's a lot of people just waiting to be able to play their N64 on a portable thing like their Switch,
Well,
and
there's
to play Banjo-Kazooie like that.
There's the Wii U. They got the entire virtual console on the Wii. I got the Wii right here. We
All
could
right, yeah, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to dip out.
Hey,
We ain't
no.
gonna talk about the Wii
All right.
on this episode.
Okay.
That's a no,
We're talking about the
We could talk
64.
about the Wii.
Um,
I wasn't a big fan of the Wii.
That's crazy.
We are N64.
You know, I think that's crazy. Just like the fact the way you wrap your controller. But hey, it's neither here nor there. You know. And you mentioned getting a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and that's so dope because if anybody growing up in the 90s, 80s, or what have you, or even now, I think it would be cool for
yeah.
kids when you get a video game console on Christmas, bro. Is that not the best Christmas?
That was honestly, yeah. That was my first video game console ever. So not only was it like, okay, like I had Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo, Sega, it was my first console ever to get on Christmas, N64, and I think that's why it probably holds a special place in my heart. And then after that, I was just like, nope, no more. Like, it was end all be all for N64.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I played N64 up until like high school, and after that I maybe moved on to like Xbox or PlayStation, and but I didn't, honestly, surprisingly, I didn't get, or I didn't even have the desire to play like GameCube or Wii. So as the consoles, as Nintendo evolved,
You were still playing 64.
I was still playing 64.
That's cool.
I nothing to me intrigued me that much as much as the N64 did.
How do you
I think it just kept me there.
How do you feel about like the evolution of the systems and with Nintendo in a whole, and like the evolution kind of not after 64, but going from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super, well, we had the Famicom, we had the NES,
Yeah.
we had the Super Nintendo, and then we got our Project Reality. We got our Nintendo 64.
Ultra 64.
And I wanted to. I got this beautiful here. Here.
There you go.
Well, we don't get into this fantastic
Oh
right now.
yeah, fantastic.
But before that, before we talk about the colors and the versatility or the personality of the different 64s, I want to talk about like the evolution of this system and the controllers.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this is the sexiest
It's just beautiful, right?
game system of all time.
Look at that.
It's got thicker curves than anything I ever seen.
And it's not so much like just square anymore. Like you said, curves.
The Sega Saturn was so just square.
Yeah. And even Nintendo, Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, they're just a box. They're square. You know, you put the cartridge on, and of course, this is very similar. They didn't change the design too much, but they added these little rivets and the curves, and
it's beautiful.
And then to top it off, they added color. No other game system that I know of had these vibrant, just beautiful pops of color.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that Nintendo still to this day loves to do. Everybody's still on black and white, gray, whatever. Nintendo's
Usually
just
most
like,
consoles are black.
we gonna put out some color. Nintendo Switch Lite, color. Pops. And I just love it, dude.
Yeah, the Switch lights. I forgot those were a thing.
Yeah, they got yellow, blue.
Well, like the
pink.
Joy-Cons, you can choose. You can buy something that best represents you, right?
Yeah.
It's your favorite color or something like that.
And that was the other cool thing too, is the controllers are all colored. So you
Yeah.
don't have just that one color or like just the buttons, you know? Like the
Mhm.
buttons might have been colored on some of the systems. But now the whole controller.
I always love too that the where you plug it in has that color. So when it's plugged
Yeah.
into the system, you can see, oh, that's mine, that's my brother, that's my friends. Like
yeah.
it's so cool.
It continues with it.
It
yeah.
gives you that burst of personality. Gives you a bunch to choose from.
Yeah.
Like for the consumer. But definitely the controller is the weirdest Nintendo. Nintendo always does weird stuff. I think that's everyone kind of recognizes that. They
Yeah.
always try new things.
They're not afraid to try something new.
They're not afraid to not worry about the competition. Hey, maybe our system's not going to be as powerful as that, but guess what? Our system's going to be fun,
Yeah.
right? That if a 4-year-old, 3-year-old picks it up, or if a 60-year-old picks it up, they know how to. It's kind of user friendly. Nintendo's always been really good at that.
Very much, yeah.
But the N64 controller is weird.
What's weird about it? What do you not like it? Do you not like the third leg? The middle?
I love it. I love the fact that you hold it.
Because that's
It's almost like a joystick.
yeah, that's really the next evolution of it, because you know it went from a pad, just this here went from the pad to now it has that third leg. So if you want to be a psychopath, you can hold it from the middle.
That's crazy you don't do that. But
I don't have no control from the middle. It feels weird.
how do you hit the Z button? How do you hit the Z
with
button?
my right hand.
No.
With my
Podcast is
right
over. No, you do not reach over and tap it. You pull it like a trigger of a gun. That's the point. Put it in your hand and pull that trigger.
My third finger is just right
you
here.
can't because you have the cord in your way.
Well, of course I'm gonna unwrap it if I'm playing the game. I ain't gonna keep it right.
I'm just shooting. I'm shooting back.
How about this Rumble Pack though?
Star Fox 64, baby. Let's get into some of the games.
Yeah. Oh. You want to talk about games?
I want
now.
to talk about games. I want
Yeah.
to talk about everything from Mario 64 to Shadows of the Empire to Star Fox 64. And what was up with
Overload.
64? Why they got to put 64 after
It's
everything?
64 bits,
Donkey
baby.
Kong 64.
Yeah.
That's another one. I'll tell you what.
They're capitalizing on the 64. They want to keep putting it in people's faces. We got 64.
Even though it wasn't as good as the PlayStation. That's weird.
They wanted to stay with the cartridges.
They were like marketing the fact that they're only a fraction of what the competition was. That's weird. To me, that's weird, dude. 128 bits on a PlayStation. You had game companies leave Nintendo
That's
that
true.
have been faithful to Nintendo, like Square,
Yeah.
right? Like with the Final Fantasy games. They said, wait a minute, you're sticking with cartridges? we're out, homie. We're going to PlayStation. We can have our games. Look at all the Final Fantasy games. Got 4 discs. We got hours and hours and data. We need room. We need storage.
Well, see, they eventually went to the disc on the GameCube. But I'm
Eventually.
more of a cartridge man.
But
Dude. The cartridge.
They still
Beautiful.
didn't go full disc.
No, they did like a mini disc.
They stayed different. Nintendo has this track record of like going against the grain.
The grain, yeah. They didn't want to do this big old fat disc. They were like, we're gonna minimize it, and you probably can't fit more on that disc. But you know, they, like you said, they want to be different. And so even though you could probably get more on that disc for PlayStation, they say, you know what, we're gonna be different. We're gonna stay with what we love. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
They say we're gonna just improve on 64 bits because it's an upgrade from Super Nintendo, but we're gonna stay with the classic cartridge because people love it.
It was cheaper to make.
Cheaper to make, might have been.
Wait a minute.
Might have
Was
been
it cheaper or more?
I think it
It was
cheaper.
more. No.
Really?
Yeah, that's why the Nintendo 64 has a small library of games.
Yeah. Oh,
it
yeah.
costs more than to print on a CD.
That's another reason why companies moved
Left.
over to.
They said, "Hey, I could produce this game for cheaper on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's got more space, but with the PlayStation, with the Sega Saturn, what did we get in that generation that everyone hated? Load times.
Oh yeah, man.
Load times.
Just sitting there as a kid, and you got your controller in your hand, and you're going to the next level, and it's just like loading.
PlayStation 1 loading. was out of this world.
Just killing me, man. Loading.
Yeah. 64, man, you don't got load times. Little to none.
Yeah.
Little to none.
Not that I remember. And that's something, if I'm playing a 64 game, I don't really remember a lot of loading. Maybe they did something on the load screen that was like
Interactive.
interactive, or maybe just a little flashy to kind of keep your attention. Because as a kid, your attention is like nothing. It's just out the window.
Yeah.
If you lose attention, and you're just like, nope, done. So yeah, and N64, it just, to me, man, they just had a lot of really good games, really good titles. Even though the amount of the title library was smaller, I think they were like, okay, well, we're gonna make those titles
Count.
epic.
Yeah.
We're
Shadows of the Empire.
One of my favorites, man. You get a fight IG-88. You get to fight Boba Fett. You're Dash Rendar. Just
Tight.
you get to on the first
They
level.
had a speeder level.
On the first level, you get to man the snow speeder on Hoth.
Sick.
The snow speeder, and you're just taking down AT-ATs and those little you're
Dude.
just shooting them.
Going around the AT-AT or whatever.
You get to shoot your harpoon.
So epic.
Yeah.
That game is epic.
It's still to this day one of my favorites, next to Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron is better on PC, but
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about PCs today, player.
But Rogue Squadron was good. When it came down to those 2 Star Wars games, Shadows of the Empire all day.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Because you got to play the character.
More down to earth Star Wars, and it was a new character, and but it was like expanding on this world.
Basically Han Solo, but I mean,
Better, I would say.
ooh.
We won't get into that.
He's shooting first.
I'm shooting first. Yeah, fuck Greedo. Star Fox 64 was huge because it brought us the Rumble Pack.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. Is now you can feel the game.
My favorite Star Fox game. I've gone back and played some of the older ones, but nothing.
I can't do the Super
I can't.
Nintendos. I'm
I
sorry.
can't.
I'm sorry if you grew up and you love the Super Nintendo Star Fox. It's too it's too polygon.
Way too polygon.
It's just I didn't grow up because remember I didn't have a Super, so I didn't play Star Fox. The first Star Fox experience was 64.
Mine too. That was my first one.
Having that as your baseline,
You can't go backwards.
I can't go under. I'm sorry. It's a great franchise. I love it.
Yeah.
But dude, Star Fox 64 is so fun. The replayability of choosing different things to do in that level, it puts you on a different course.
Yeah.
Dude.
Those were always really cool.
You
I
get to
love that.
play as a tank. That was so cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, to be able to play on a tank, not only can you fly through the air, then now you're sitting there on the ground and it would rumble. It would super rumble. Yeah.
It was all built around that. It would all that feedback when you get shot, your controller rumbles.
You got to play in different worlds. There was lava worlds, underwater worlds.
Do a barrel roll.
My favorite line, do a barrel roll.
How has that from a little 64 game like Star Fox has became a pop culture reference?
Crazy, right?
A lot of people know that term. They don't even know Star Fox.
But they love it. They love it.
Barrel roll.
Yeah, it's just classic. And
I like Slippy.
Slippy's cool. I was more of a Falco guy.
Yeah, the cool guy.
Jeez. I guess I should be thankful.
I always hated him. What an asshole. What an ungrateful asshole. But then you cared, right?
Yeah.
In Star Fox was great because it was about unity as a team. I like that. Like, you care, like, all of a sudden, like, you're trying to fight, like, help me out, Fox.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
It's up to you to save your partner if he's going to be in the rest of the level
or
with
just
you.
be like, fuck him.
Yeah,
let him
you
die.
Dead.
Let Falco die.
Yeah, let Falco die. And then I like how, I just love, damn it, I'll get lost in each one of these games.
Star Fox 64. But remember, at the end of the day, only I can rule Lilat.
One of the craziest things going from the Super Nintendo to the 64 was getting your friends and family involved. 4 players.
Ooh.
4 players. It's not just about you and a friend.
You don't need no multi-tap player. It's built right in.
The multi-tap.
You don't need it. You don't need that little V. It's built right in. You get the 4 players.
Some of my first memories with the 64, it was a large group of friends. It was kind of in an apartment complex, so there was like up to maybe most times like 8 kids.
Oh yeah, you were crammed in there, huh?
Yeah.
Just playing video games,
dude. And I'm telling you, man. Obviously, the first thing I ever played was Mario Kart. Now, Mario Kart, it was one of like that game. I'm telling you, and I'll be honest with you, I never played Mario Kart. One more game on Super I never played as growing up. Never played the original. Mario Kart 64, to this day, I'm sorry, F Mario Kart 8.
Exactly.
Dude.
Thank you. I'm glad you said it, because
I'm tired of people accepting that trash, dude. I'm so sick and tired of people accepting Nintendo not making a Mario Kart for the Switch. Just the whole regurgitated. Here's a Nintendo Switch. What game shall we put on it? Do we? Here's
Let's give them the same one that was on the Wii. No.
Half the damn, a third, whatever, a quarter of the catalog is just regurgitated Wii U games.
That's what I'm saying. Just give me the N64 Mario Kart on the Switch.
Online.
Do it. Yeah, online.
That's
so
all
I can play
want.
with everybody.
And a course creator.
Hey,
imagine making 64 courses.
And that might be the thing. That might be the next thing.
It's not going to happen.
Because
Nintendo don't like us that much. I'm going to tell you that.
That's
true. If Nintendo cared what we had to say, we would have customized backgrounds on a Switch.
Well, they might be listening to the podcast, so Nintendo
better get on your shit and
do it.
Get that shit going.
Yeah.
But
what was your favorite Mario Kart level?
My favorite Mario Kart level?
Yes. Like course, because they call it a course in there.
I got a lot of favorite courses I love.
Are you 150cc?
150 all day. Wait a minute.
Or are you on that 50cc?
No, 50cc is trash, dude. I don't play. You play
newbies, right?
Yeah. Rainbow Road, dude.
Is it?
It's because that's when I think nostalgia, when I think video games and nostalgia in the 90s, it's 4-player Mario Kart, and Rainbow Road was always that final level to get first place, to get your points up, player.
Yeah, man.
And it was just it was so beautiful.
It's like the longest level, the longest course in the whole game.
Doing that jump, you remember?
Oh,
jumping to the other side of the track.
You just jump off.
Yeah,
you just go flying off the track.
But like
that one's a lot of fun.
I love Wave Race.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about that Wave Race a little bit.
Okay,
a lot of people don't. A lot of people, you know, they leave Wave Race out of it. Wave Race
was
huge to me.
Yeah.
Man, playing with a bunch of friends and in summertime and being out. Yeah, you got the parents barbecuing. You're squirting each other with the hose. You're playing in the little kid pool, and then you run inside all wet. And we grabbing the Nintendo 64 controllers and we playing Wave Race.
No, you can't play the N64 while wet.
Yeah, who
you
cares?
gonna mess up your controllers.
Nah, player.
And then wrap them like a psychopath. Oh my god.
Dude, I love Wave Race. It was like a sensory overload of having those pool days, those summer pool days, and then playing Wave Race, jumping around and diving and doing flips in the water. I love the physics of that. But when it came to like playing with a group of friends, dude, GoldenEye.
Ooh, GoldenEye. Ooh. Were you a big GoldenEye kid?
Hard, dude.
I wasn't. I mean,
3 party games right off the bat. It was wrestling, it was GoldenEye, and it was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what's going to be happening.
Unless I had the golden gun, I wasn't playing GoldenEye, bro, because I ain't going to sit there and chase you around the map where I can't see you and it's all blocky. And...
It was probably because you weren't putting your hands on the controller right.
Well, I wasn't a big first shooter person game, so... First person shooter. Yeah. I said that backwards.
Yeah.
But I wasn't big on that. I was more like RPGs, open world games, Mario Kart. You give me a kart, something I can drive, Cruising USA.
Oh, Cruising USA.
That one, bro.
That was a good 64 game.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cruising USA.
Cruising.
So yeah, driving games on N64 were sick.
You know what was so cool? Chuck E. Cheese was huge to me as a kid.
They had like the little thing where you could play. It was like arcade, but you can play Cruising USA.
Being able to play Cruising USA as an arcade machine,
dope,
and then being able to go home and play it on my on my 64.
Yeah.
When I could mimic the arcade experience, I got some arcade sticks behind me. When I can mimic the arcade experience at home, I've won.
Yeah.
Game over. I won.
Dunzo.
That's it.
That's all you need.
Bring
N64.
the arcade home.
All you need is a Nintendo 64. That's the slogan.
An arcade.
Right
Wrestling games.
Get into it, man.
WCW versus NWO.
Revenge. Bash at the beach.
Bash at the beach.
I know you.
Baby.
Yeah, you want to talk about it.
I'm gonna grab my stop sign from out the crowd and beat your ass with it.
Razor barbed wire bat. I'm reneging you.
Oh, dude. I think one of the funnest things as a party game on 64 was the wrestling games.
Yeah, man.
Even if you weren't into wrestling, people had a blast. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna flip you. You know.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to create your own character.
Doing those submissions. You got THQ man in a chokehold.
THQ man.
THQ man.
Wrestling games on 64 were amazing.
You can't beat them, dude.
You really can't. And
No.
honestly, now SmackDown on the PS1 was great.
Of course,
But
yeah.
now, like 2K, man, wrestling has just fallen.
Yeah.
They try to make it too much of a simulation. And that's why most wrestling games that do really well are more of an arcade wrestling game. Just funsies.
That's what people remember. That's what they kind of grew up with. That's kind of what they revert back to. They're trying to make it too realistic now. And
it's just literally simulation game.
Yeah.
I don't want to rotate the analog for a submission to do this like a UFC game.
Yeah.
I get that.
I just want to press A and B and watch him do a power bomb.
I want to power bomb you off the top rope, homie.
Yeah. And that was the cool thing about WCW, NWO Revenge, or just, the levels, but then all the moves, you got to do the finishers, clothesline, big boot. You get to play as Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then they had their taunts too, so they were like taunting. It was just, that game has a lot of fond memories for me. Me and my friends would always get together and play them. Of course, 4-player. So that way you didn't have to pass the sticks much.
They basically finished that generation with No Mercy.
Oh yeah, No Mercy.
That was the creme de la creme of wrestling games on the 64. It has the most wrestlers, the most unique, creative. You can create matches. It had all these different match rules.
They had way more roster, yeah.
Yeah, and you can do more with custom your character, and No Mercy was nuts. That was like the end all of behemoth wrestling game,
baby.
But
Mario Party. Were you a big Mario Party kid?
Mario Party 1 and 2, but Mario Party 1.
That's my favorite. Mario Party 1.
I didn't have it until later in life though.
Me too. Yeah. So me and my friends, probably after high school, maybe like during college, we would get together, and that's literally what we would do every night. Probably grab some drinks, grab some chips, candy, whatever, and we'd just sit there and pass around our belt, our little title belt. We had a plastic title belt that we would play, and we would play Mario Party 1, and whoever ended up winning at the end would get that little, I think it's that belt behind you.
Oh, okay, yeah, right there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
We would pass around that belt, but our favorite level was to play the Wario World level, because you're getting shot from island to island on a cannon, so it just like shoots you, and then it's all random. And Mario Party was just sick.
Well, Mario Party is literally a virtual
board game,
and I think that's cool. And I'll be honest, hey, I'm not trying to shit on Nintendo, but they just don't learn. The Mario Party on the Switch is trash. It's whack, dude.
Some of it's okay. Of course, it's not.
It's too limited, dude.
Yes.
I don't understand. Why don't you just give us what we want? We want more levels. We want more characters.
I was hoping they were going to have so many more levels. And
retro levels, callbacks, levels off the original games.
Somebody hired this man,
dude,
for Nintendo, because...
And I think that's what's cool is because they even did that Mario Kart 8, though. I'll give them that.
Well, of course,
they brought back old school levels.
Yeah.
You can play levels from the original.
Give me a new game. Don't give me
What's
the same game
we're not
from
getting
the Wii.
We're not getting a Mario Kart for this console at all. They don't care. Imagine if they dropped Mario Kart 9.
He gonna make this man eat his words.
Yeah, please let me
be like,
give it
Mario
to me.
Kart 9 tomorrow.
Oh, do it. Hey, I will literally eat my words.
I'm gonna retract that statement.
Oh God. But the versatility of what has happened in the game industry, but it's reverting back to it now, which is nice, is what they call couch co-op.
Okay.
See, old school consoles, 64, ain't no online unless you had that 64 DD.
Yeah,
that's a whole rabbit hole.
That.
Yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But couch co-op is me and you are actually sitting here playing together. We ain't playing online.
In the same room.
Playing Mario Kart online is cool feature, but dude, Mario Kart's a vicious game. And when you have friends that are engaged in it, it becomes something more. And when they're physically next to you, you can throw chips at them or whatever you gonna do.
You just tap them a little bit.
Yeah, nudge them in the
play
elbow.
with their controller.
You know what I'm saying? DDT them real quick in the middle of a match, and then hit them with a blue shell and see them become more angrier than you ever seen them. But
those are relationship, friendship killers. Okay, and Mario Kart 64 and Mario Party.
Yeah,
bro, it gets real.
It gets real.
It gets real on those,
especially when you talking shit and you back it up.
And you got a belt that if you lose, you ain't got your belt no more. You go home hella sad.
Yeah, that sucks.
Me and my friends, dude, we took it so seriously. Like, we would literally battle for that all the time. And if you lose that belt, bro, you're pissed the rest of the night, man.
That's awesome.
You got to go home without your belt that you went to your friend's house with. You show up, champ, throwing your belt around, you the champ, and then you lose.
That sucks. That's hilarious.
The worst thing ever.
Yeah, the 64 though, man, it is always going to be
so many fun memories.
I don't know if I'll say it's my favorite Nintendo console of all time.
Oh, it's my favorite
because I love the NES.
Straight up.
The original Nintendo.
Original Nintendo, but see, I didn't have one.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have that connectivity to it. I never owned one until, of course, later in life I bought them. But Super Nintendo, you know, I loved Super Mario World, but again, it wasn't mine. It was my cousin's.
Yeah.
I had to go over to other people's houses.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with the first one that I owned. And so from this day forward, end all be all.
Super Nintendo or six. I keep saying Super Nintendo.
It's Nintendo 64.
Fantastic, baby.
Fantastic. Fire red, orange.
64
Fire
though.
orange.
The expansion pack's in there.
Yeah, it is. Look
what
at
was
that.
the first game that needed the expansion pack? Perfect Dark, right?
I want to believe. I believe so.
So if you didn't like GoldenEye, you didn't like Perfect Dark.
No.
That's crazy.
I like Conker's Bad Fur Day though.
Ooh,
That was
classic.
Cool. Yeah.
That's another thing in that rare replay.
Okay.
They got that too.
That's cool.
It's all remastered and shit, whatever. It's great, upscaled, whatever the term.
We're gonna have to play that. That would be fun.
I got it. It's on a shitty system, Xbox One, but no, But 64 it's a part of the 90s nostalgia.
Of course.
It's always going to be a part of.
It's like a staple point in the 90s. Yeah, it's the landmark.
It's right in there in the middle too. 96, right?
Yeah, it came out in 1996. I want to say like mid 96, like maybe July or something like that.
September.
Was it? Okay.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I could have my dates wrong, but
I didn't get it at launch.
Me neither. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's middle of 1990s of the 90s, and it was the evolution of Nintendo.
And
it was the next step.
Obviously, Nintendo has reverted back to cartridges.
Interesting, huh? Yeah, they're not discs anymore.
Yeah,
they made them smaller, of course.
Well, technology, we could put literally a little SD card like this.
I was just gonna say it's basically
128 gigs.
Crazy.
It's
basically just an SD card.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but at least it's still physical.
It's physical.
It's still physical. I love physicality.
Where do you think that's gonna go? Give me your prediction as Nintendo evolves even more, and where do you think even the next Nintendo system, you think it's gonna be all digital?
Unfortunately, yes. I do believe that it will be all digital, but you take the risk, which Nintendo loves to do, of losing those people who love practicality.
Yeah.
Who love to physically own something. But more and more, you got the eShop, you got everything is becoming virtual, digital, and that's the future. So, but on my side, I'm going to get back to the basics and play some Nintendo 64 till the day I die.
So you're saying we can't play GoldenEye right now?
We could play.
But I'm just going to mollywop you.
Exactly.
I need some competition.
Exactly. So I ain't going to put up that great of a fight. But if you get on some Mario Kart or some Mario Party.
Or some wrestling.
It's a whole nother story. You're going to see a different side of Eddie.
There you go, Flair.
Yeah, man. Until next time, everybody. Yo, man, that was a lot of fun. The only thing better than talking about N64 is actually playing it. So now that the podcast is done and over with, we gonna jump on Twitch and play some Banjo-Kazooie right now, man.
Don't forget to follow us over on Twitch or our YouTube. That is twitch.tv/Back to the Basics. YouTube, simple, Back to the Basics. We're gonna be having a lot of fun future content coming out. So Mario Party too. Yeah, Mario Kart tournaments though. I'm excited, and hopefully you guys could take part of that.
Can't wait to beat you in some Mario Kart, dude.
It's not gonna happen. You're gonna get blue shelled.
I will green shell guru snipe you.
Oh, yeah, he said green shell.
Green shell.
Wow. Yeah, right. Yo, aim's trash.
That red stuff. Yeah. That out of here.
But like always, another great, fun, nostalgic discussion of something from our childhood that we just are absolutely in love with. Is
64 bits of nostalgia.
Ooh, that Nintendo baby ain't. Hey, I'm just gonna say it. Nintendo hasn't had a console this good
since the 64. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nintendo, take that and make another one.
Hey, we're still waiting for that Nintendo 64 Classic, right? They're supposed to be coming out with that little classic.
Wait for that.
Or just give us a virtual console.
Just put it on the eStore.
Yeah, let us buy it. I'll buy a 64 game at full price to play it on my Switch today.
I'll walk around with it right now, just playing Mario Kart. Online battle it. Yeah.
Getting beat.
That was a lot of fun. So if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you follow us. Stay up to date with everything that we got going on.
And until next week, friends, remember, stay nostalgic on that eternal quest to get back
to the basics.